Hey there everyone, as you can see it's a cold day today. I've got my beanie on, my little woolen hat and a couple of layers of clothing on. It's pretty cold. We're going to be picking some of my beetroot today. Let me get set up with the tripod and let's harvest this little bundle of beetroot. Oh, and just before I start doing the beetroot, let me show you a quick little snippet of what's happening in the garden. Hang five. Rightio. As you can see, the nasturtiums are just really getting into it. This particular bed I'm just going to leave for the winter and let the nasturtiums do their thing, and I'll chop and drop these nasturtiums when the season's done. Now, the lettuces in the tubs are doing really well. As you can see, I've nearly finished picking all of these, so I've eaten most of those. And I've got some more iceberg lettuces coming on in here. The feijoa trees are nearly finished. I've let some of them drop down there. A bit too small to worry about eating. A little bit of trouble here. A couple of the cabbages didn't survive, so there's a bit of space, but that's okay. The ones that do grow will have room to spread. And of course there's some little volunteer lettuces that have come up. Everything else is really going along nicely. I've got some garlic coming up in and around this beautiful peach tree. It's a dwarf peach, but it always has some good sized fruit on it. The rainbow chards, or silver beet as they're also known, they're going really, really well. Potatoes have taken off. I've got a couple of little bits of weed growing in through there, but that's okay. I use that bit of weeded grass to feed my cats and my birds. Over here, I've got the leaves dropping from the fig tree. Over here, we've got some more potatoes in the end there. I've got some cabbages coming on here. These were the ones that I planted as the middle crop, and these were the original first crop. They are just looking incredible. I think every single cabbage has survived. How is that? I'm so pleased with myself. This cabbage here I've already picked and eaten. We fried that up with some bacon and eggs. Absolutely delicious. On this side, I've got some purple cabbages growing. They're the fourth sort of crop that I've put in. This is a couple here that have been struggling. I don't know why. I think my cat came and laid down on top of them. So anyway, the kaffir lime tree is doing really well. The blackberry bush is going beautifully. And of course that passion fruit vine really needs a trim back. We'll see how we go with that later in the week. Quick little sort of a trip down this way. This is more garlic through here. A little bit of potato coming up in these beds. Some more potatoes in here. My stinging nettle crop, which I'm leaving, I actually use stinging nettle. I chop it up in scrambled eggs and whatnot and cook with it. A little bit of composting happening right here next to this compost bin, and that's a cherry tree. This grapevine here I need to prune this week, so that's definitely happening. This is also a bed that I'm resting, so not doing anything in there. There's just some random potatoes that came up, so I'm leaving them there. These are leeks. I've got to go through and tidy them up. A lot of leaf litter everywhere because the fruit trees have dropped all their leaves, as you can imagine, this time of year. And over here we've got another crop of potatoes. So yes, in Brunfree's yard it's going to be diddly diddly potatoes. To all my Irish friends that love their potatoes, thank you for inventing this potato crop in the world. We all love potatoes, don't we? Okay, right, let's these are just the flower sort of sections of the garden all along this fence line. That's just to encourage the bees to come along, and I've trimmed some of these lavenders and things like that and the roses. So in those bins I've got my Jadam fertiliser. It's a liquid fertiliser which I've inoculated with obviously some mycelium from leaf mould that I collected in my own yard. So I create my own different types of fertiliser with different sort of plants that rot in there, with rainwater, the mycelium, and some biochar charcoal as well. It all activates it and creates all that wonderful stuff you've seen growing in my garden. This was just a random bed that propped up with some garlic that I put in, some very, very small cloves of garlic that I found wild, and I thought I'd give them a go. So they are really doing well. Some little cherry tomatoes that are still hanging in there, and I think I had a couple the other night in a salad. My lemon tree is doing okay. It was struggling. I've got some garlic planted in the bottom, and We've been eating some of these spinach here, some more garlic planted through there. I've eaten a lot of the lettuce in through there and some of the basil herb. So yeah. Now this stuff here is compostable stuff that a friend of mine, Sammy, she gives to me from her rabbits. So that is going to go straight over in here where I'm going to be harvesting all of this beetroot to get this compostable matter in there, and then I'll let that bed rest for a few months. Just a quick little scan across here. This is all the cauliflower that's coming up. So they're doing okay. Had a little bit of pest issue, so I threw the cover over. And this over here is my mandarin. Now this is a first year, and I've had this tree for probably about 3 years now. First year I've actually got some fruit on it. Absolutely awestruck because it struggled terribly. So I started putting the liquid fertiliser that I'd made with the biochar and all the compostable mycelium and rotting matter, and that's now helping the tree move along nicely. Up here I've also got some cauliflowers, and along here some lettuce that I've thrown in some seed, and they've taken off nicely. So as you can see, I've got lettuce to eat for salads as the season moves along. I won't be without any lettuce. Let's get on with the harvesting of the beetroot. I'll just set up the tripod and be right back. Okay, I've got you on. Hopefully you can hear me and the wind's not too loud. Let's get on with it. I've got the knife, I've got the bowl. I'm going to chop and drop, cut the greens off, leave them in the actual container here in the raised garden bed, and I'll take all the beetroots. They won't be very big because I think it's just a small variety of beetroot, or maybe my soil wasn't very good. So I'll take the beetroot up to the kitchen later and I'll boil them up and preserve them. So let's get into it, okay? Rightio. That's the greens that we're just going to chop and drop, and tidying up some of these baby beets. Very small but still very delicious and sweet. Right, let's keep going. I probably should start at the beginning so I know where I'm at. Oh, this is a nice looking sized one. A little bit better than the first one. There you go. Not too bad at all. Get some of that dirt off. Keep it in the garden bed. Oh, there's another nice one. Get some of that dirt off as well. I should have worn my gloves, but oh well. It's a bit lazy this morning to go in the shed and open it up and get the gloves out. Got to keep my head warm though. Oh, another little one here. I think my fingers are going to be red by the end of the morning. Oh, this is a nice one. Here we go. Yes, no metal detecting today because I'm being a responsible adult and doing some of my household chores because the food doesn't grow itself and doesn't get itself in the fridge. Besides, it's all very delicious, fresh baby beets. I don't want to waste any of them. I'll pop the bowl over here now and keep going. Lots of beets. All my subscribers that you're out there watching, I like doing a lot of different things in my life, so hopefully there's something for everybody. And also a big shout out and thank you to the, I think it's at 186 subscribers now. I'm very, very pleased. Thank you so much. Oh, maybe I will get those gloves on. That's nice, green. Kind of matches my shirt. A little bit colour coordinated, but still looking a bit daggy. Right, oh, this is a beauty. Have a look at the size of this one. Hey? Not too bad. It's almost the size of a tennis ball. Ooh, good one. As they say, you little ripper. Oh, I found a weed in here too. That can go. Oh. Yes, these are baby beets that I planted. Probably about, oh, I don't know, maybe 10, 12 weeks ago. when the weather was warmer. Oh, that was a little bit of a, yep, this is very much an infant one, but we'll put it in. We won't waste it. Like I said, this soil was pretty poor, so I just gave it an opportunity to grow something, knowing that I would chop and drop whatever I grew. And even if you just get a handful of stuff, it's all beneficial, isn't it? Rightio, let's just move on down. We're nearly done. A few more. Sometimes the foliage looks bigger than the actual beetroot that I'm pulling out. Oh, the ones on the edges have grown really well. I don't know whether that's because this tin on the raised garden bed has got some extra warmth, and the plants obviously enjoyed that and grew a bit bigger. Like this one, for example, much closer to the tin and really coming up a treat. Look at that. Pretty cool. Let's keep going, not too many. Here's another one, decent size, right near the edge of the tin. Lovely. Oh, bit of a small one here in the centre. Yeah, see the difference? This is what I mean. I think that warmth really helps the beetroot. The ground was a bit cold in the centre here. No radiant heat from the edges of the tin. Look at that. Job quickly done. Adulting at its best. Growing food for the family, growing food for myself, looking after the soil by dropping and leaving it all in there to decompose. Saves buying too many fertilisers. And then I'll also be adding some of that straw in that bag that I showed you. Oh, I think there's only another one or two to go. Another nice one. Lovely. Bring you over, show you what I've got. Look at that, folks. How's that? Not too bad. That's probably my biggest. I've got 4 decent sized big ones there on the edge, and the rest are all beautiful, lovely, sweet baby beets. Right, back again, just getting the gloves on. Tipped out all this rabbit manure that's been given to me very kindly, mixed in rabbit poop with some straw and just some papery kind of kitty litter pellets. It's come out of a rabbit cage, so I'm going to spread that out over the top of the green leaf matter just to create, you know, the additional nutrient and water retention for the upcoming spring season plantings. So getting all that out. Now let's get the straw on. Now the straw has also come from a rabbit hutch area, so want to get that on. That'll keep the ground warm, get the bacteria going in there, keep everything growing and decomposing. And like I said, with this rain that's coming, this is going to settle this straw down nicely. So very, very appreciative that I get this compost stuff from a friend from her rabbit hutch. Really appreciate it, and it certainly helps towards the food production in my yard. Oh, nearly there. There we go. And just like that, job is done. If you've enjoyed watching this, give me a thumbs up. Maybe subscribe. Before I go, I thought I'd better go and pick one of those cabbages that I'm going to give to a friend, and I'm sure they'll appreciate it. So let's just go out in the veggie garden here and pick a cabbage. Okay, I'll set you up in a minute. Oh, got to bend down. Let me set you up and we'll see how we go. This one looks solid to me. Move some of this netting. The netting has been helping all the white butterflies from avoiding damaging my cabbages, but I haven't seen too many white butterflies. There we go. Cabbage at Brunfree's house. How cool is that? Look at it. It's like the size of a volleyball ball. That's going to be delicious. I know my friend is going to really like this. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. And soon, let's go and do some more fun things. See you then.